Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below. Well, everybody, this is my son Jack. Say hi.
Hi.
And we're heading to what game?
Seahawks versus Rams, Thursday night football.
It's going to be a good game. This is one of the biggest of the season, right?
Well, for the Seahawks, yeah.
Can you tell who's the Seahawks fan? What's my favorite team?
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills, because I grew up in Toronto, and the closest team to Toronto was Buffalo. Closest team to Vancouver is?
Seattle.
Now, do you know what car we're in?
No.
It's been parked in front of the house for days. You don't know what it is?
It's a BMW, I know that.
Okay, it's a Z4. But when we cross the border, what do we have to call it?
The Z4. Yeah.
Which just sounds wrong.
I don't know, it sounds good to me.
So okay, before we get down there, we're going to cross the border. We'll talk a bit about the car. We'll show you some of the game too. What do you think the score is going to be?
24-17 Seahawks.
And they're right now 3-1.
So are the Rams, yeah.
And so are the Bills.
There you go.
All right, so we're hoping, we've got a little break in the cloud here, we might actually get the roof down. It's pretty hard to believe this is a convertible. It's pretty quiet,
yeah,
right?
It's good.
And it's got lots of power. Hopefully we'll get to experience that. So the first thing we got to do is what? Get over the border.
Oh, yeah.
You're not smuggling anything, are you?
No.
Okay, let's see if this card works. Oh, it picked it up. It's working.
Ooh. It's working.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Do you have anything to declare?
No.
It's a new card for Jack?
Yes, we've had a few issues with it. Once in a while it works and sometimes it doesn't. They say maybe we got to order a new card.
Take it in the Nexus office.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
I knew it. You're trouble.
He's not having it.
He doesn't want to talk to me about it. Where's the trusted traveler?
No, it's online.
Was that what he meant?
Yeah.
Did he say in line?
Online.
Okay. Did he say go into the line?
No, he said online.
Online. Okay. In line and online sound close.
No, he said go online to the trusted traveler and see if you can activate it.
Oh, I see. I think we got to get you a new card.
Are we going in the U.S., Bob?
And what car are we in, Jack?
The Z4.
I can't believe you didn't even know what it was.
Well, how am I supposed to know what it is?
I got a question for you. You're 17.
Yeah.
Do any of your friends, are they interested in cars at all?
Aaron, the Swiss friend, very loves it. He says this is his dream job. What you have?
Why don't you do this and you could do this? Drive around doing videos.
I think it would be good.
Yeah. You know what Jack wants to do? He wants to do sports.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to Seahawks game. All right, we'll pick it up down the road. Okay, Jack has been in the car. We've been in the car about an hour and a half. Seat's uncomfortable, right?
It's not too bad. I just need to fix the
Yeah, we had to adjust the lumbar. He thought it wasn't that great. I got to tell you, now, you've never been in a Z4 before. Actually, he's got his earbuds in, listening to his horrible hip-hop. So I'm listening to my classic rewind. He's got the hip-hop. The one thing I will say about this car, it is miles more comfortable for the driver. And what they did with this car is they made the track wider. The wheelbase is actually shorter, which is quite interesting. So a wider track, but the wheelbase is shorter and the vehicle is longer overall. And what that does is it changes where you sit in the car. One of the problems with the old Z4 is you sat farther back. Now the seating position is more neutral. So that made a difference. When you would go around a corner, you had to, it's hard to explain. You were not in the pivot point of the corner. You had to time the corner differently. Now with this perfect 50-50 weight distribution, sitting more central in the car with this wider track, way more comfortable. Plus they adjusted the suspension as well. Of course, you've got all of the settings. This is the Z4 M40 version with the inline 6-cylinder. I'll get into the power in a moment because that's impressive. It comes with the sport suspension, the sport steering, all of the stuff you get on the higher end BMWs included in this package, but you pay for it. So we're about 45 minutes away from our hotel, and then we're going to go to the Seahawks game. and then we'll pick it up on the way back, and hopefully we'll have a win, right?
Hopefully.
Let's do it. The sun's out. There you go. So you can do it up to 50 kilometers an hour. Okay, Boxster or Z4?
I don't know about the Boxster.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're back on the I-5 after Seahawks win. What was the score? You said, what was it going to be?
I said 24 to 17.
And what was the final?
30 to 29, a bit too close.
30 to 29. And our first ever NFL game, I think we picked the best game of the season.
Probably.
And might be one of the best games of all time for Seattle.
I mean, they've had their Super Bowl runs, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. Everybody we asked for help where we were going, super nice. So thumbs up to everybody in Seattle.
Yeah.
You certainly do your city proud. So yeah, a lot of fun. You want to go again?
Yeah.
So I'll say one thing. Jack paid for his own seat with his own money from working this summer.
Yeah.
So good for you.
Thanks.
The next one he wants me to pay for. We'll see. We're going to Chicago in a few weeks, so that'll be fun. All right, so back to this car. You can just tune out for this part, okay? As I mentioned, 382 horsepower. Now, before we get into more about this particular car, everybody's thinking, well, isn't that just a convertible Supra? Yes, Supra, Toyota, and BMW co-developed these two cars together, the same platform. Of course, a lot of the heavy lifting was done by BMW, mostly in the engine department, the transmission, and the platform. But they are not the same. This we're in America now. This Z4 has a different inline six-cylinder engine than the Supra. So this car, as I mentioned when we got on the highway, has 382 horsepower from an inline six-cylinder 3-liter. The Supra has 335. So this is the newest, the latest, the next generation evolution of that inline six-cylinder family of motors. And I got to tell you, I cannot, like I said on the way down here yesterday, it's a bit noisy because there's a lot of traffic where we are. I can't describe how much of a difference this Z4 is compared to the old one. It's so much more poised, and you really feel comfortable. And even though it is a bit noisy now, there's loads of traffic around us, it's pretty quiet for a convertible. This has got a pretty good sized trunk now, because what did BMW decide to do? They went back to a regular convertible. It doesn't have a retractable hardtop, which I actually prefer, because you get a much bigger trunk. So we have a couple of overnight bags in there. We did a stop at Costco, so you can easily take off for a weekend in this car with lots of room. Of course, the inside is what we've come to expect from the latest family of BMW vehicles. You get the large center iDrive screen, a digital instrument cluster behind the steering wheel, and this doesn't stray too much from the other vehicles I've driven in the last year. It's all very familiar, which is great. If you're a BMW owner, you get into this car, it's instantly familiar and comfortable. It does have a wireless charging pad for your phone. As we mentioned on the way down, a fully retractable soft top can drive up to 50 kilometers an hour and do that. We haven't had the best weather on this trip, but that's the great thing about owning a convertible. It's a car of opportunity. You have a short drive of 20 minutes and an opportunity to get the roof down. You take it, and it takes no time to put the roof up or down. I do prefer convertibles over retractable hardtops. Two things, actually three things. Retractable hardtops take a lot of space in the trunk. They are prone to leaks and they're prone to rattles. This might not be as quiet overall, but I have to say that it is very quiet considering a lot of convertibles that I've driven. This is a marked improvement over the last car. Really nicely done. I just can't wait to drive the Supra. Hey, we should book a Supra and come down.
Sure.
All right, Jack, good one. Your first video with me. Well, you've been in videos before,
Yeah.
but the first one where it's just you and me. It was our road trip. It was good. Made some memories. Epic game. It was a lot of fun. See you next time. Say bye.
Bye.
Now, a couple of things we didn't mention when we were driving. One is the armrest. If you want to have coffee, and you always have a coffee or drink when you're on a long road trip, the passenger can't put their arm on the armrest to flip that center section up. So that is a bit uncomfortable over the long term. But on the other hand, the space behind the rear seats, we had all kinds of stuff back there, from bags of chips to my camera gear, so that's quite functional. I think the trunk is excellent. When they got rid of the retractable hardtop, the trunk is much better, and overall this car is much more poised. All right, here's what it costs to get the Supra, which is the coupe version. It's basically $65,000 in the Canadian market. That's a lot of money. This car starts at $77,000 plus. So a couple of things I can recommend. First of all, if you can afford this car, it is so much better than the previous version. And the other thing is, if you have a kid, take him or her on a road trip, just the two of you. It's a load of fun. So take the opportunity when you can to spend some time with your kids and go on a road trip. It's a load of fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below.